He's just an ordinary patrolman from the country, but he notices the details that everyone else misses. While the police searched the victim's home for clues, Luke, however, turned his gaze to the opposite side, because the curtains were open at the time of the murder, and the building across the street was an abandoned apartment building. Maybe the apartment had the answers he was looking for. Luke sat in a chair by the window. Found you can see the crime scene clearly from here. He instantly remembered the serial killings from 5 years ago. Back then, the victims were stripped naked, and had a garbage bag over his head. This aligns perfectly with how the victim died. Luke hypothesized that the killer was the same person. The killer may have admired his masterpiece here after the murder. He reported this finding to the sheriff. The sheriff wants him to stay a little longer, until he found the killer. It turned out Luke had once been a top detective. Then he was transferred to the countryside as a patrolman after an accident. This trip to Luochang was for picking up a piece of material. The sheriff had long heard of Luke's reputation, so he invited him to join him in solving the case. And that's how the story began. After everyone left, Luke went back to the victim's house alone. Just then the landlady came in. She asked Luke about the progress of the case. Learned through the conversation, the refrigerator in the house had been broken for at least a week. The victim had called someone to repair it earlier, but the repairman never showed up. This detail caught Luke's attention. Next day, he went to the repair shop the landlady mentioned. The shop owner said someone had indeed contacted them, but the appointment was later cancelled. Luke suspected that the murderer was the repairman. He cancelled the appointment on his own, then entered the girl's house to commit the crime. On his way out, Luke took a list of employees. Little did he know a man with long hair was staring at him intensely. Later that night, the police found a woman's body by the river. 2 murders in a few days. It was a real headache for the sheriff. Moreover, the victim's body had been dumped in the river and fished out. There were hardly any clues at the scene. Luke handed the employee list to the sheriff, asking him to help investigate it. The next day, the sheriff gave him the investigation result. A long-haired male repairman had a criminal record. Maybe he could be a breakthrough. Luke followed the clues to the long-haired guy's house, and just happened to see the guy come out to take out the trash. He took it back immediately. You know, a person's secret could be hidden in the trash. Luke found an uneaten slice of pizza. He immediately sent it to the forensic examiner for identification, and the victim had been bitten by the killer, and by comparing the bite marks on her face, they found the two were highly similar. Although this couldn't be used as valid evidence, it deepened the long-haired man's suspicion, so they brought the long-haired man back to the police station, planning to interrogate him thoroughly.